Hello, everybody. I'm Laurel Jordan, the Insurance TPA Officer from Sutherland Global, and I've been in this industry for close to 30 years doing all sorts of operational processes. I will be moderating our webinar today, and it's aligned on navigating the triple threats: security, speed, and scalability in TPA operations. I'd like to give each of our panelists a moment to introduce themselves, and then we'll get started with our discussion. Anand, would you please introduce yourself and tell us your background?
Sure. Thanks, Laurel. Hey, good morning, everybody, and to those in other parts of the world, a good day. Very excited to be here to talk about what a digital TPA looks like and what we expect from the partnership. And very excited to be in this panel with Anurag, Tim, and Susan. This is a great panel coming together. I'm Anand Murthy. I've been with Sutherland for about 7 years now, been in the industry for about 24 years. A core technologist at heart. I've built core systems, I've migrated core systems, I've established integration across multiple life and annuities solution products. Looking forward to this discussion with this esteemed panel. Back to you,
Thank
Laura.
you so much. Tim, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Tim Grain. I'm the head of client services at LIDP. I have 27 plus years of experience with complex implementations, conversions, software development, and new business projects within the life and annuity industry. Been involved with the Titanium, the core policy admin system for the digital TPA since its inception, and looking forward to discussing with all of you what our digital TPA looks like.
Thank you. Susan?
Good morning. I'm Susan Rudnicki. I'm a project management professional with over 20 years of experience managing large, complex initiatives. And I have experience in multitude of industries to include call center technologies, payment processing, and financial. And I am the program manager for WoodmenLife, and I'm responsible for the conversion-related efforts needed to help modernize WoodmenLife's back-end systems.
Great. So excited to have you here. And last but not least, Anurag?
Hi, Anurag Shah. I'm head of products and solutions for our Americas business here in Newgen. I've been part of the company for about 25 years and have had several roles to play in this long journey. I did start from the product management. I did some delivery, professional services, and implementations for enterprise-wide customers in insurance and banking and financial services.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited that all of you have joined us. We're going to jump right in. And my first question, I'm going to actually spread out to a couple of you. And I want each of you to explain and advise me on what does a digital TPA look like and how do partnerships play into this new concept for an ecosystem? And I'm going to hand it to you first, Anand.
Sure, Laurel. To me, essentially, what a digital TPA is all about enhancing the customer's experience. It's about being able to deliver a service to the customer in the best fashion at a very reasonable cost and enabling as much straight-through processing as you can so that you're delivering a superior service. A part of this is to be able to be able to launch products faster, to be able to move in a very agile manner when it comes to providing service to your customers, and at the same time, enhancing your automation capabilities so that you can enable that straight through processing. To ensure that you have all of this, you have to bring together various partners who specialize in each of their line of business. So that's where this partnership comes in, where Sutherland comes in with a lot of experience in managing such large infrastructure, being able to provide services to such large carriers. And we bring in LIDP with its very modern technology core, life and annuity policy admin solutions, and Newgen with its capabilities on business process management and their document management services. So these three come together. Like I said, to me, the essence of this is being able to provide a superior customer experience and employee experience to the carrier while ensuring that you're keeping the cost of operation low by leveraging the technology.
Thank you. And Susan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what a digital TPA looks like as well.
For us, it's a partnership. It's working with experts that understand our unique market proposal and how we satisfy our customers' needs, and partners with us in order for both of us to be successful. It's someone that brings best practices and standards to an organization that might have struggled with some of those in the past, but also helps us to be more innovative and responsive to our customers' needs, as well as our employee needs when it comes to invoking or enabling new technologies.
Thank you. And Tim, I'd like your insights as well, please.
Thanks, Laurel. So our digital TPA is a best of breed partnership. So each partner specializes in specific skill sets. Each partner is very strong in their areas of expertise, and bringing all of that together results in a best of breed digital TPA. The clients we bring onto the digital TPA platform are also best of breed in the life insurance and annuity space. For the digital TPA partnership to be successful, all of our clients need to be successful. The individual clients brought onto the digital TPA platform are as critical to the success as the platform, just as LIDP, Sutherland, and Newgen are critical to the success. So LIDP's Titanium, as the core policy admin system, brings scalability for product processing volumes and configuration. Sutherland brings scalability to the TPA business operations and client support. And Newgen eliminates the need for manual intervention for workflow and documents, which makes process flow and document management scalable with ease.
Thanks. And so I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that. Susan and Tim, I'd love you guys to elaborate a little bit more on what are your expectations from your partners and your partnerships. Susan, you want to go first?
Sure. From a partnership perspective, it's someone who's with you through the requirements gathering all the way through the implementation. Someone who understands your unique business needs, but also is able to let you know potentially what are more common best practices and standards that might enable additional functionality for your organization. It's someone that's with you through the challenges and shares the challenges with you as well as the successes. It's like a family, someone that's with you through thick and thin, and willing to go the extra mile for both of us to be successful. At WoodmenLife, we have a saying, it's the power of we, and that's what a good partnership really is. It's that collaboration that allows both companies or all companies as part of that collaboration to be successful.
I really love that because, you know, I believe in every partnership you have to have the collaboration, the transparency, the common goals, and the common mentalities. And so I love that catchphrase, the power of we. So Tim, I'd like to hear your expectations as well, please.
So I'm going to talk about the expectations a little bit differently. So I'm going to talk about the expectations between everybody in the partnership and LIDP and the clients, and then from the partnership between LIDP, Sutherland, and Newgen and their responsibilities and what the expectations are as part of being partners with the digital TPA. So as far as the clients go, the reason why we offer our digital TPA as single tenancy is because we want to be able to support individual clients individually and be able to partner the best with every single client we have. We'll have client teams from LIDP that are responsible for servicing each one of the individual digital TPA clients. From the client side of that, the things we expect from them to bring is some domain knowledge in the industry, project management skills, decision-making abilities, knowledge of their own products and products that they would like to put onto the digital TPA. We look for them to be to help with defining the business requirements for the products, make sure that they're aligning the TPA usage with their strategic goals, and ultimately those clients are the ones who oversee the project success on the digital TPA. We're always looking for the clients for regular involvement. That's crucial in defining requirements, providing feedback to us, and ensuring that the TPA solution is always and continually aligning with their business needs. And that typically involves strategic planning and periodic reviews of what their usage is of the digital TPA. Diving a little bit further deeper into for their business and actuarial teams, the level of commitment there depends on the extent to which they rely on the TPA platform for the work that they're doing. It could involve them doing some data input, configuration of analytic tools, or just simply overseeing the accuracy of TPA generator results. From the LIDP, Sutherland, and Newgen side of things, what the skill sets are for LIDP is software engineering, insurance product management, UX and UI design, and database management. Sutherland skills, software engineering, AWS cloud computing expertise, network management, and security best practices. And Newgen for workflow management, digital document management, and API integration capabilities. LIDP, as far as our role, we develop and maintain the core policy admin system, and that includes any feature update, bug fixes, and scalability. Sutherland, they manage the underlying infrastructure, ensure uptime, security, and scalability. And they're also involved in implementation, integration, and ongoing management of the digital TPA. Both LIDP and Sutherland will provide support to all of our partners, addressing any issues, answering questions, and ensuring client satisfaction. All LIDP, Sutherland, and Newgen all have strong communication, problem solving, and technical troubleshooting skills. And those are some of the things that we look for in the partnership, both internally to the digital TPA and also externally to all the clients that will be supporting on it.
Great. Thank you both so much for your insights there. I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to direct this question over to Anurag and Ananda, but I'd love to hear your insights on scalability, volumes management, and cost of operations, and how digitalization plays into that. So Anand, do you want to take that first?
Sure. So to me, the key to any of this operation, like Tim was mentioning, is to be able to provide that best of service in a partnership mode, like Susan said. And a part of that is being able to scale, because as carriers look to grow, as volumes increase, you need to be able to scale without having to bring down the system. It has to be a 24/7 system, which is able to manage the fluctuations in volume without having to be taken down. And key part of delivering that service without compromising that user experience is also in being able to digitize at all stages. So whether it's the mid office or the back office, the more digitized your service is, the better you're able to manage the level of service as volumes grow, and the better you're able to scale automatically as they grow as well. And what this also does is it provides you a lowered cost of operation, and your unit cost of operation can keep going down as the volumes increase, and you achieve what I call as a nonlinear growth stage. So bringing all these together, so whether it is the core LIDP platform where each layer is able to scale on its own, or Newgen's BPM, the business process management layer, which is able to scale independent of any of the other components of the solution, or the document management solution, which is able to handle more and more volumes without having to be re-engineered. These three coming together with Sutherland, which has expertise in both providing process services as well as underlying infrastructure management services around all of them, is the key. While doing all of this, the key also is to ensure that scalability is accompanied by the necessary controls that are to be in place for security of the operations. To me, these three coming together is very important for scalability.
Thank you. And Anurag, can you give your insights on how these come into play in digitalization?
So today, the insurance carriers must address three critical things. customer experience, operational excellence, and business innovation. And collectively, if they have to advance to the next stage of growth, the customer experience improves, as we all know, the customer acquisition and satisfaction, driving the top line. And Ananda talked about operational experience, the cost of operation going down with the volume. So streamlining your operations and enhancing your performance, improving your bottom line. And on the business innovation side, these carriers should look at unlocking new business opportunities and growing business. And such transformation requires integration of complex information flow between, again, like Ananda touched upon it, the front, middle, and back offices. If you look at the front office, you need to make those easy to use to attract your customer and make it attractive for your customer experience. Provide those enhanced customer experience through portal, mobile, web apps, promote your do-it-yourself for users, enable straight-through processing, reduce abandonment of journeys, and encourage rule-based decision into the system. So you embed the decisioning system, artificial intelligence technology, learning for straight-through no-touch operation for real-time outcomes and decisions. And when you look at the mid office, you need to automate those mid office processes for efficiencies and operational excellence gain. So start looking at things like automating those smart workflows for your caseworkers, work queues, prioritization, making sure that the right work is given due attention in the operation, building those intelligence for auto writing, bringing the visibility across the scorecards, design processes for minimal work on the front end and maximizing the work in the mid office, in the operation. These are what Ananda talked about, the Sutherland operation in this TPA ecosystem. Optimizing the processes for low touch operation with efficient handling of exceptions and callbacks. So these are the few of the aspects which if done correctly and in a streamlined fashion will achieve that cost saving and will achieve that scale that we are looking for.
Thank you for that. And now, I want to dive a little bit deeper in something that we all love to discuss, and it's so prevalent in our industry right now. When we're talking low code and no code and system setups, how does the security come into play and how is it affected? Anurag, do you want to keep going and give me your insights there? And then I'll toss it over to a couple of other people as well.
Yeah, sure. So see, I mean, from Newgen's core platform perspective, we recommend that we encompass through what you see here on the slide, the content services, the low code process, the communication, artificial intelligence, all of these are part of the core platform. And all of these are based on the cloud native capabilities, which brings the security right at the center of it. So one, it is cloud native, whether it is Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud, all of these are supported. The platform utilizes the power of dynamic scaling through technologies like Dockers, containers, have error-free rollout environments using CI/CD pipelines, deploying on Newgen Cloud, deploying on customer-hosted cloud, or deploying a partner-hosted cloud as a TPA platform demands. All of those flexibilities are available. Transitioning your existing on-prem deployment to cloud for those obvious benefits, keeping those encryptions at rest and the data and data in transit. Modules like web access firewall, DLP, availability zones, disaster recovery, replication, employ all of those cutting edge and cloud native security into it. And if you look at some of the analysts' recognitions that this Newgen core platform has been able to achieve, whether it is, and we can go to the next slide to see that Forrester has rated this platform as the leader. But not only Forrester, but also Gartner and Aspire and various analysts have rated different aspects of the profile, whether it is a digital document content management system or the low-code process automation or technologies like artificial intelligence and generative AI participating into the processes, and then also combining, when you look at streamlining the operations, like I talked about earlier, front, middle, and back, combining those content into the context of the process in which those are being processed or being used by the operation users in a typical TPA platform, bringing data from underlying core systems like LIDP, and then presenting it to the case workers into the TPA. And in that context, what kind of content is relevant, what kind of queues, workflow, and what kind of low code automation will help in straight through processing or low touch processing or no touch processing. So those are a few of the important parameters that I wanted to talk about.
Anand,
Anand, you are on mute.
you're on mute.
Sorry, it helps not to be on mute when I'm talking. Sorry about that. So, Anurag, I think you hit that out of the park. I just want to address it from a pure infrastructure and application security perspective. But to me, security needs to be at multiple layers, right? So it starts primarily with being all the operators in the TPA ecosystem being aware of what their security requirements are. They need to be continuously trained. They need to be aware of what are the threats that are there in the market and be prepared for that, and they need to be enabled to be prepared for that. Now, a past part of all of this is the power of low code and no code is that you can bring business users to do most of the functions. So you don't need a person with coding knowledge, but you need to put those guardrails in place so that security is not compromised as these processes are adopted and automation is taking over. So one of the key things is being able to secure data. Secure data when it is resting, secure data as it is moving through the various components of the system. The second key aspect and the second key layer for me is also your identity and access management. So only right people authorized to, or Anurag said, the context of where the data is accessed and for what process becomes very important, and establishing a clear security framework and being able to enforce it with your, maybe OR2 protocol using AWS IAM processes. These become very, very important. At the same time, you need to have a very robust security architecture around your cloud. So your virtual private clouds need to be in multiple regions. You need to have backups in place. You need to be able to switch from one to the other without any disruption, but also ensure that as data is moving through these various network layers, they are protected and managed very efficiently. And this could be a part of your integration security also, as you integrate some of the data flowing between clients' native apps, which are in their data centers or their own clouds, and between the TPA operation. So ensuring very robust application security and being able to enforce that using things like AWS CloudWatch and so on and so forth is a very, very important aspect of the overall security framework. While ensuring all this, we also need to know that we are in compliance with all the government regulations and are also able to demonstrate that we are in compliance becomes very important.
Could not agree more. Kind of on that same forefront, as we're moving to a digital TPA, I think in every due diligence session and every session that we have, one of the questions that we get asked is, how do we auto scale and how do we do easy integrations? So I'd like to pose that question, and I'll start with you again, Anand, and then I'm going to throw it out to the group as well. So I'd love to hear your insights and your perspectives, please.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, carriers are looking to grow fast, but at the same time, they're also looking to grow in a way where their cost of operations are very optimized and well managed. So the important thing here is to be able to scale at different components independent of one another. So, like I said, if your sales are growing, you want your front-end operations and move more and more of the services towards self-service. So you need to be able to scale that layer independent of your maybe middle office and back office. But at the same time, to service the growing policy holders, you need to have a very efficient and automated mid office and back office system so that you're not depending on more and more people coming into the system to service those customers, but you're depending on the technology to be able to scale to that. So I think one of the key aspects is to be able to scale independently in front office, mid office, and back office. And that's where I think the key components that we are bringing together here, whether it is the business process management engine from Newgen, the document management and customer communication management from Newgen, or the core system from LIDP, each of these are able to scale independently while still ensuring the overall security architecture remains uncompromised. Um, the key aspect of all of this is also being able to bring in the right trained people in each of these work streams so that your efficiency that you have built for a small scale operation can be scaled multiple times without having to add more and more people and having to spend more and more time training them. So these two going together is what I believe is very important for autoscaling.
And Anurag, same question to you, please.
Yeah, sure. And Ananda touched upon all the relevant aspects of this, and I may just expound on certain points that he brought and he spoke about. So you see, automation at scale requires a structured approach. You got to drive people, system, and processes across departments. Piecemeal approach is no longer working. And you need to orchestrate these existing systems that you have to bring visibility and control on things like turn time, things like service level agreements. So you build comprehensive journeys around core like LIDP for completeness, visibility, and monitor your execution. And of course, being cloud native is kind of have become table stake today. So your dynamic scaling through, like I said, Dockers, containers, CI/CD pipelines. And you also want, as with all of these approaches, you also want to attend to those high velocity processes and contents. You want to identify work steps and queues that are seasonal, for example, in nature, and architect those into separate containers for scaling at peak times. You may use things like microservices, micro UIs, and all of those things to achieve all of the automation and scale. And while your transformation is going on, this also demands certain aspects of leveraging the content which takes the like we talked about earlier in the context of the process. So document journeys become lifeline of your insurance carriers. There are different channels through which the contents are exchanged or gathered or collected: paper, email, mobile, portal, you name it, audio, video. Right now we are on a video session, and similarly there are several such audio and video recordings which now are participating increasingly into call center and operations when they are dealing with brokers, producers, and the policyholders. So these journeys encompasses flows through, again, front, middle, and back offices. So you have content and data from journey, which becomes your enterprise asset, and these constitute things like proposals, contracts, brochures, your product documents. You may be having papers lying in the drawers of cabinets or electronic files on shared drives or desktops and emails. How do you manage all of those becomes critically important. You often unorganized content is becoming prone to getting lost. Right content is often not found when required, and governance and audit trails are increasingly becoming difficult. And that's where this best of the breed tailored solution with the integrated ecosystem that the TPA platform brings together. So on the top, you see the core system, LIDP. Tim talked about all the good things about core system and what it brings. In the middle, you have this Newgen One platform in which all these processes, content, communication, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these technologies are embedded to provide the operations which are which is done by the Sutherland in an integrated environment where they are able to use not only Newgen but also LIDP and certain collaborative tools that you see in the bottom. So those are the things that I just wanted to highlight.
Appreciate that. Tim, I'd like your intake as well, please. And you're on mute.
Like,
okay, there we go. So I'll take a little bit different approach to and focus less on the business side and the great answers that Ananda and Anurag both gave. and focus a little bit more on a technical sided answer as far as the core policy admin system. And so titanium ensures the high availability and reliability through robust load balancing and failover capabilities. We use Kubernetes for application clustering and replication, and that enables us to also maintain a fully redundant replica for disaster recovery. So the Kubernetes cluster with the replication, they have a minimum of 2 incidents set up for critical components. And so that ensures that if one instance fails, the other instance can continue serving any traffic without any disruption. Nice benefit of containerization and using Kubernetes is to be able to auto scale based on demand. So you don't always have to have a bunch of servers up and running and be spending money on those. Based on the amount of business that you have to process in one day, the system will auto scale and pods can be brought up or down depending on the demand on the system. So on days where there's less processing to be done, there's less cost because you don't have as many pods up and running. Load balancing across all the instances. There's automatic load balancing via Kubernetes built in to distribute any incoming traffic across any replicated instances of the application. It helps optimize performance and individual instances don't get overloaded. The ability to fully redundant replicate in another region of the country or the world. So you have failover automatically that you can immediately direct traffic to another replication. And then also with the failover and high availability design, the architecture is designed with failover mechanisms to handle instance failures gracefully. Kubernetes can automatically detect failures and automatically redistribute any of the traffic to healthy instances. That combined with the redundant replica in another region, the setup provides for high availability and resilience across many failure scenarios. And so that's just a little bit of the approach from the technical side and how the system can be scaled and be available and save money. Also could touch some on the low code scenario. We have 40 plus years of business processing logic and configuration and the core policy admin system. And so via configuration, ultimately almost any business, any insurance product or annuity product in the industry today can be configured in titanium.
Great, thank you. This has been a very enlightening and insightful discussion, and I appreciate, every point of view from the administrative platform with LiDP, from the carrier side with WoodmenLife, from the workflow with Newgen, and then the TPA side from Sutherland. So I'd like to give each of you one last opportunity for your final thoughts and any closing remarks you'd like to make. And I'm going to kick it off with, I think we'll go with Anurag, and then we'll move down through. And I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you. And I really have learned a lot and enjoyed this conversation. So Anurag, any last thoughts?
Yeah, you see, we talked about most of the things, but one of the things that I would like to conclude it with is to take a holistic approach. And I loved when Susan started speaking about the partnership and the power of we, the way she described, and calling all those partners, looking those partners as a family. That kind of hits the nail on the head, how we are looking at it. So the platforms help you achieve your objectives, and partnerships play integral role. LiDP, Sutherland, Newgen, coming all of these together to deliver this TPA platform that we talked about in last 30 odd minutes. And in this partnership, a commitment to each other becomes very, very important. Updates and upgrades for, let's say, LiDP coming out with updates and upgrade, Newgen coming out with its updates and upgrade, being in sync with that, and then how Sutherland is bringing those operational optimizations, the enhancements in line with what the systems and solutions from LIDP and Newgen are helping and bring everything in synchronized fashion for this TPA to be able to deliver what it is intended to deliver. So I think that would be one of my final thought to conclude with. But yes, this has been a great session. I'm thrilled to seek these insights from these speakers. So thanks a lot for having me here.
Thank you again. Anand?
Sure. I think, Anurag, you hit all of the points. I think the key, like I said, I'd like to echo what Anurag said. I think Susan started it off, the power of we. I think we don't look at our clients as customers. We look at them as our partners, and we want them to look at us as partners as well. And the three of us coming together with LIDP, with its superior technology platform for a core solution built on top of 40 years of expertise. Newgen, one of the leaders in the BPM and document management space, and Sutherland, just, we are one of those people who like to say we live in the shoes of our customer. We have managed these processes for 35, 40 years now. We bring a wealth of experience in managing all of this. But even today, our focus is the customer. The customer is at the center of everything that we do. But like I said, to me, the key aspect of this digital TPA is to enhance that user experience at a very optimized cost of operations and ensure that our customers get the best of technology without accumulating any technology debt. And that part is what this partnership takes over. So I would like to reiterate, very happy to be here, learned a lot from this Elite platform of speakers, and excited to look forward to their journey together.
Great. And Tim?
Yeah, so I could certainly echo the same things as the previous two replies. But this is a very exciting time with us all coming together with the power of we to build this digital TPA partnership and to bring the best of breeds together and to help bring the best of breed in insurance and annuity processing together, so we can keep developing the best methods to do third-party administration and with best practices, and from all the partnerships learning from each other, and in being the best of breeds and the way to do things the proper way, and to bring the whole insurance industry as a whole into a new age of where we need to go.
Could have said it better, Tim. Thank you so much. And last but definitely not least, Susan, I'd like your final thoughts and your inputs.
Well, thank you, Laurel, and I appreciate being included in today's webinar and being asked to be a member of the group. I just want to leave us with one thought that, we, in today's day and age, with the complexities that we have, with the way that technology is constantly changing, we can't do it alone. We have to have strong partnerships. We have to have people that work alongside us to help us all be successful. And we can only do that together through the power of we.
Absolutely. And once again, I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to this esteemed panel, all of your insights, your wisdom, your expertise, and your knowledge. I think this has been very informative, educational, and I truly appreciate all of you jumping in and being involved in this, and hope everybody has a great and blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laurel. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Laurel.